kind of unfortunate that Stalker is getting delayed too.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm in the class with a bunch of Army and Air Force people, and they're just, it's funny. Great people, like they're like super nice, but it's interesting how like day jobby the military is for them, and I think it's great. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You should have you played do you like, I know you don't like Warzone, right? But I don't like it either. But I think you should give it a reinstall and play with the Rees. It's actually a lot of fun.
Okay.
He plays Rebirth. It's like 40. I thought it was like trash, but then I played Rebirth with him, and it's like 40 people, not like I'm dead. And yeah, it's a way better game mode. You if you die, you can like respawn if your team stays alive for like 20 seconds. And so it's like a lot more fast paced and it's a lot of fun.
I gotta download Battle.net.
Yeah.
And I had like Diablo 3. That's what I should start playing.
Dude, yeah.
Maybe some Diablo 3.
Explosives planted.
Did you ever get any time with the new Diablo 2 remake?
I played a touch of it. 183 gigs, you say?
Oh, is that how big it is?
Well, it's with campaign, multiplayer, Spec Ops Survival. Might as well just do everything. 183 gigs though, that's thick. Let me see.
Man, I'm fucking just dancing on these fools.
Yeah, dude, I thought the campaign for Modern Warfare was impressive too. Might play through that again at the veteran difficulty, whatever it is.
Oh, the Modern Warfare one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never made it through it, but like watching other people play, I was like, oh, I want to play that.
Uh. Dude, yeah, I can't believe that interview went so well, dude.
Oh my god, dude, I was so happy.
I
Like,
was fucking, dude. So, I'll give you the rundown of it. So, for the interview, I showed up with a jacket, a tie,
sweatpants. Okay.
like,
Dude, I
yeah,
see
but
your LinkedIn profile. Why is your hair so dark? What did you
I
put
don't
in your
know.
hair? You know what I'm talking about,
It's
though?
just, it's just wet. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, it just looks darker.
Yeah, I don't know why it looked dark. It was probably because it was wet.
Yeah.
Um, but dude, yeah. So I get to uh I start and I'm in there like 15 minutes prior. I'm the first one in, then someone else joins,
Mhm.
and
Wait, is this a
this is
VTC
teams.
teams?
Yeah,
Okay.
and someone joins and then introduce himself, blah blah, and then Mr. Dunn, the guy I've been talking to, gets on, and then with everyone there, he goes, "Wow, Tanner, well, you're really making us look bad here." Because they were all in like it was like 8 a.m. for them,
Yeah.
and it was 11 a.m. for me, so they're all like in like t-shirts
Oh
and like
yes.
just super lax, and then he goes, well, Tanner, I'll tell you, you're making us look bad here. You're looking great, and we're all sitting here in shirts and all this, and I laughed, and then basically they wanted basically a basic rundown of who I was.
Yeah.
I gave them like a couple blurbs, I told them I joined the Marine Corps right after I turned 18. I always wanted to be a Marine.
Oh yeah.
Um, I wasn't satisfied with my first contract. I come back. I come to Marsa. I got to go to combat, and then got to go to another austere environment. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then uh, they started asking me questions, and I think they asked me like over a dozen questions, but they were very easy questions. Like one of them was describe a time where you got a personality conflict and stuff, and I just brought up like a growing pain for us is getting really very young Marines or young Marines that have not volunteered to fill this demanding role that we fill, like mentally on board and all this and blah blah. Asked me other questions about kind of personality based stuff, and what I was happy with is they thought all of my answers were like great. They were like, "That's a great answer. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was looking for." They said that like over and over again, like all
Mhm.
of them.
Yeah.
The only thing that he said that he was concerned with is he's like, well, I'm looking at your resume and I don't see a bunch of any highlights of RF experience.
Mhm.
So I kind of wanted to explain what you know about RF, and I was like, well, just being completely honest, like I've been trained as a radio operator, so I understand the basics of antennas and wave propagation. But as for like different types of emitters and more offensive intelligence-based stuff, I don't know that kind of stuff. And then he asked me like to go into some specifics for antennas, so I hit his ass with. I was like, well, a common theme I see here is guys will build sloping V, high frequency field expedient antennas, and they won't put terminating resistors on the ends of the legs,
Mhm.
so it's actually just a big omnidirectional sloping V.
Yeah.
And guys wonder why they're emitting RF behind the direction of where they want to go, and it's because they're not building the antenna correctly. And I could see Mr. Dunn on mute, like bobbing his head up and down, like I gave him a hard on, like talking about that, and I was like, and generally understand like directional antennas, like the basics of radio theory and all this, and then But I really narrowed it down to like only stuff I don't know is, and I brought up like when I was in the Spectrum Guard course at like I think it was a 400 or 700 megahertz. There was a signal there, and off the top of his head